I'd like to inform the VCU community about medical malpractice and misconduct at Innova Alpha Neurology in Fairfax. Innova, the medical school students at VCU do, in fact, some of them, they complete their training at Innova for their 3rd and 4th year, and there's also a clerkship and mentorship program, and the neurology program is managed by Innova Alpha Neurology in Fairfax. So what has happened is, now I'm the patient, and I'm the patient that was harmed by Dr. Kulkarni at that practice, and she's also an assistant professor at VCU at the medical school for Innova. And so what has happened is, now the malpractice issue itself and the misconduct issue, I have it on a different posting on YouTube, and I can also email it to you. It's in written form along with the evidence, and you can send the email request to fairfaxneurologist@gmail.com. Anyway, the issue that VCU should be concerned about is that the misconduct was so egregious that 3 out of 4 neurologists who were not involved in any way with the misconduct, they resigned in unison. They left, they abandoned their patients, and they also abandoned the medical school students all in unison. And the reason they did that, it's very apparent. It's the very last contact that I had with that practice, and within days these 3 neurologists all resigned. And so literally the ones who are left behind are the individuals who were conducting the misconduct. So it's actually the ones who were doing the misconduct, they remain, and the ones who were trying to not do anything wrong, they either resigned on their own or they were forced to resign. And it doesn't seem like anyone has moved on to a more prestigious position. So, and the additional issue which has happened is that one of the assistant professors who resigned, he was the head of the clerkship, the neurology clerkship program. And now what the head of the department, Dr. Cochran, has done, he has rewarded the very same neurologist that actually got everything started, Dr. Kulkarni. So Dr. Kulkarni did the harm. Dr. Cochran helped Dr. Kulkarni in concealing the harm, and the patient, because of the concealment, Dr. Kulkarni actually ended up harming the patient several different times and made it worse and worse. So, that's really ultimately the straw that broke the camel's back, I guess. Those 3 doctors just had enough and they finally quit. But, what's incredible is how the very same individual, Dr. Kulkarni, the one who's actually responsible, she's actually the one who's actually promoted into the same position as one of the doctors who resigned. So I did get this information out to the medical school, both at VCU and at Innova. At least 25 to 30 different individuals were emailed. The very same individuals the medical school students would complain to if they had a problem. But amazingly, none of them have replied to me. And none of them apparently have taken any action, because Dr. Cochran is still there. He's actually reconstituting his practice, so he's getting, more people there who will, I guess, help him, with acts of misconduct in the future. And Dr. Kulkarni is now sitting at the top of the roost, basically as the head of the mentorship program. Before she harmed the patient, she basically she didn't even have her name on any of the rooms, because she was literally that low down. And so now all of a sudden she's rewarded, even though she's the individual who is responsible for the harm. That's Dr. Kulkarni. So I think, if you're a medical school student, you're getting a pretty bad deal if you really have a bunch of losers and those actually committing malpractice, misconduct, and they actually, I guess, the more misconduct you do, the more you get rewarded, and I just don't see how that's going to help out a medical school student. Anyway, so you guys kind of, if you're like a medical school student, a patient, a regular student who may get serviced by the VCU Medical Center, well, you guys kind of speak up and take care of yourselves, and because I'm really okay up here. I got all the evidence to act on the issue, so I don't really need any help. But so you guys just take care of your stuff there, because ultimately I did try to help you all out. I did email to VCU, but apparently they're really silent.